Hello my dear friends, you're on the Military Summary channel, and this short video we're going to discuss events that took place during the previous 10 hours. And the most important updates are coming from Kherson area. As you can see, and as we discussed yesterday, the Russian sources map has been updated. Currently this map shows that this territory right in front of Kherson, a small residential area by the name of Kindika and Dachi, are under Ukrainian control. If we take a look at the Institute of Study of War map, they're showing the same picture, and this map has been updated as well. According to this map, the Ukrainians controls bigger territory, bigger part of this bridgehead, and from one side bigger, from another side less. For example, according to this map, the Ukrainians established control over the bridgehead along the road, along Antonovsky Bridge that connects the Ukrainian bank of Dnieper River with the Russians, this one. And if we take a look at the Russian one more time, this area is under Russian control. So as we understand, a lot of news, a lot of piece of news, a lot of information came from this area. And for now, it's very difficult to understand exactly where the Russians and where the Ukrainians. I believe that soon this information, we are going to receive more updates from this area, and we will understand where exactly and what is going on there. But this is very interesting because, for example, this morning, according to the local channel, a lot of Ukrainian sources published about the beginning of the counter-offensive operation in Kherson area, and one of the person who confirmed that information, that piece of information, was Madyar. If you remember, we discussed this person many times. He has his own, he's the commander of drone squad that were fighting in Solidar, Bakhmut. Currently he is located in Avdiivka, so it's a very famous soldier and officer on the ground. Now let's go to Zaporizhia, and a lot of very interesting updates are coming from this area and not in the Ukrainian favor. For example, today the Russian representatives of this region reported that during the recently there has been the level of the Ukrainian soldiers who took a decision to surrender has been significantly increased. And not just to surrender. The Russians are saying that almost every single day more and more Ukrainians not just surrender, but turn their side, saying that they don't want to die for Zelensky regime. So imagine yourself not to surrender, like surrender, you're getting into prison and at least until the end of the war, and after then you will be released. No. The Russian sources pointed that the process is to turn the side of the conflict, that a lot of Ukrainians, massive number of Ukrainians, are joining Russian army and are willing to fight against the Ukrainians. If you remember, yesterday we discussed almost the same situation in the vicinity of Bakhmut when we talk about some strikes in Chasiv Yar and Konstantinovka against sending these forces into this Bakhmut mid-grinder, to be more precise, to regain lost positions along the 0506 road. Very interesting piece of information. Also, the Russians published more videos about clashes along on the Marinka, between Marinka and Pervomaiska, about some attacks of 110th Brigade and so on. Very interesting updates are coming from Kharkiv. During the night, there were a lot of cases of missile attack and rocket attack. At least few explosions were spotted in this area. And I mentioned that we stopped receiving any video or photo confirmations from that town, and when talking about Kharkiv, this is still the main base where the Ukrainians are able to hide endless, we can say, number of tanks, armored vehicles that can be deployed very fast in direction of Kupiansk. So I believe that the Russians were attacking this area using missiles. As you can see, there are some videos of very heavy explosions in this area, as you can see. As the Russians are attacking this area because they understand that if the Ukrainians are going to attack, they will start deployment process from Kharkiv area. Very interesting updates are coming from Kiev. Today, the Ukrainian parliament adopted a very interesting law, and from now on, according to this law, it is not allowed to tell bad things about the Ukrainian authorities, even if it's true. And from now on, it's a crime. As you can see, the president of Ukraine are preparing himself for the upcoming president elections. And the first step he did is he abandoned and he restricted any anything that, any words, anything, any notes, any messages, any words that can harm and make damage to his power. And I would like to discuss another thing about Kiev, about Zelensky. You know that I am living in Belarus, and when I see what Zelensky does, I see exactly and I understand what he's going to do. First of all, of course, he is going to win the president, to become the president for the second term, but this is not the main goal of him. As I see, Zelensky, and believe me, he's going to do this within the next term of the next 4 years of president term. I believe that in the next 4 years he's going to add changes in the main law of Ukraine into the constitution reform, and something tells me that Zelensky is going to be the president of Ukraine until he dies. So something like this, at least the things that he does shows me, and I saw this in other countries, when a person wants to take power and to run the country until he dies, or something like this, endless. And that's it for this short update. Military Summary channel reminds to condemn any violence in Ukraine. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel, put your likes, join my Patreon, and have a good day. Bye bye.